Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G, back at the solar test station behind the RV where I've got my two 200-watt solar panels and my red ODO battery that we're going to be testing out. But first I got to get it out of the box. It's going to be kind of hard for you guys to miss this when you're unpacking, but they keep the post bolts, the M8 bolts for your battery terminals, in the top foam right there, and they give you a big old sticker. And they go through all the trouble to tell you on the outside of the box as well. So I know, and now you know. Inside of that little kit you get your terminal covers, your screws, and just in case your wires that you're connecting aren't thick enough, you get some thickener washers there. And then here is our product manual. And this battery obviously has some Bluetooth features which we're going to play around with. So there's the information on the App Store app or the Play Store Play. And it wants you to charge for 3 to 10 seconds to turn the battery power on. So it probably comes turned off, so you have to just kind of blip it with the charger. But we always charge the battery up 100% before we do any testing anyway. And then this is a thick manual, because it's in a couple of different languages. So we have English, Japanese, and German. English in the front. And we got about yay much manual there. So lots of stuff in there to go over. Low temperature charging protection function, yes. Resume charging temperature is 41 degrees Fahrenheit. It is 140 amp hours, 1,792 watt hours at 12.8 volts. And the keen ones among you, if you take that and multiply it by that, you get that. 4,000 cycle times, which is more than I can charge it in my lifetime. And the BMS inside can handle 150 amps. And I want you to charge at 28 amps. And it's interesting that the max continuous output power is 1,920 watts. So you should get less than an hour's worth of usage out of it if you ran it full bore, which I have no ability to do because I don't have anything that's going to consume 140 amps without destroying my world. All right. These batteries aren't terribly heavy, but it is good that they come with a carrying handle. All right, I've got a cheap little meter here, and I'm going to verify that it is off in shipping. And we're at 2.7 volts. So that's not 12.8. I'm going to give it a little bit of a jolt with a charger and see what happens. These clamps are currently going to a dead-end power pole connection, which I'm going to plug into my battery charger. And I just bumped it. But now the battery charger is providing enough of a load on the battery that you're getting 0 reading because the meter didn't provide a whole lot of load. And then the battery charger is unplugged. And this, for reference, is the simple Bioenno charger, and this thing puts out 2 amps at 30 watts. So not a whole lot. I just want to jumpstart this thing. So next up we need AC power. So I'm going to take my AC power source and my converter and plug them in. Pop. And now we have green light on the Bioenno charger, which just turned red to indicate that it's actually charging. And we've got 13.1 volts. So if I unplug the charger, the battery should now be awake. And the charger is unplugged, and we've got 13 volts coming out of the battery. So let's remove the contraption and test this battery again. Positive to positive, negative to negative, 13 volts. We are now good to go with this battery. It is discharge time. We've got the red ODO 12.8 volt, 140 amp hour battery on our DC load tester, our MakerHawk tester here. And I am going to go ahead and get this test started up. We're going to set this thing for 10 amps, which means I need to come back and talk to y'all in about 140 amps later, 14 hours. All right, there we go. 13.2 volts, 10 amps. And we will be back in 14 hours. We've got some Bluetooth features to check out, some smart features on this battery that we need to see what that is all about. And I'm going to take a look at this code, see what we learn. Yes, I'd like to open it in the Play Store. And yes, I'd like to install it. Let's hit the install button. Let's open it up. A little bit of a demo going on. Add via QR code, okay. Add via Bluetooth, okay. Real-time monitoring, we will take a look. Open it up. I don't like sign-ins. No need to sign in to look at my own battery. I have read and agreed to. I don't know what I've read and agreed to, but I've done it. All right, let's add a device. Add via QR code. If I'm adding it by QR code, you don't need to know my location. Only this time. All right, we found a battery after all of that, and we're grabbing device info. Interesting. This looks a lot like another app that I recently reviewed, only with a different face on it. It's going to take 8 hours and 35 minutes to charge at this level of charge. SOC is state of charge. We're putting 200 watts into it, 16 amps, 15.7, 12.4 volts. And we've put in 2.9 amp hours already. All the cells are already balanced. Battery info, I can name it. It's white on gray text. Serial number, temperature is 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Cycle life is 1. It's had 1 cycle on it, which is true. Device controls, discharge function. Before turning off the discharge function, remove connected devices to avoid interfering with their use. I'm not removing it. Yeah, same thing. So not allowed to discharge or turn it off. Cannot turn off, probably because of other things that are already happening. How to turn on, charge the device to turn it on. I showed you that at the beginning of the video. So there's some useful information there. I'm not sure I want to give up all of the privacy and create an account and everything in order to do that. I did it for you guys so you don't have to. But at this point, I'd probably recommend getting a shunt that doesn't require giving them all kinds of information that they don't really need. Some of that is Android permissions, where for some reason the Android device won't allow you to see nearby Bluetooth devices unless you give the app location permissions. I don't know why they do that. I don't agree with them doing that. I don't think they need to do that because Bluetooth is all around you. It's like to do with the region of the Bluetooth radio. So who knows? We live in a ridiculously insecure world these days, and here's another example of it. So you don't need to use the Bluetooth app. So as long as you don't connect your battery to your phone to the internet, it'll be secure. Man, I'm so glad y'all waited the 14 hours it took to drain this battery all the way down. Check this out. We are looking at 144.05 amp hours out of a 140 amp hour battery. And that test at 10 amps took 14 hours, 23 minutes, and 1 second of total time. And we were able to pull 1,802.02 watt hours out of the battery. And this thing is rated at 1,792 watt hours. So all in all, I think that's pretty amazing results out of this battery. This is the new Red Odeo battery that we just put through its paces. This is the old Red Odeo 100 amp hour battery that I have been using for quite a while. This one's got a couple thousand contacts on it at this point. And if you notice, 140, 100, but they're the same size. We put them two together, they are the same size in that direction. This one's actually a little teeny tiny bit taller, but not enough to matter. And then they're the same in that direction. This is a Group 31 size battery, and that means something for automotive consumers and marine consumers. It's a standard size to fit inside of a standard battery box, and they're packing a big wallop inside of this box. All right, thanks for sticking with me this long. Here is where it gets interesting. Red Odeo is having a Black Friday sale like everybody has at this time of the year, but there are some really good perks in it for you. The sale runs from 11/19 to 12/3. November 19th to December 3rd. That's not Black Friday, that's Black Month, whatever you want to call it. That's a long time. If you click the link in the description down below and you use my discount code TO, you'll save an additional 6% off, which of course means you'll get the best price on their official website. If you order anything $500 or more, you get some free gifts along with it. I don't know what they are, the quantity's limited, so be sure you act quickly. And if you're a big spender and you spend over $2,000, they'll give you an extra 8% on top of what you're already doing, because that's what that word extra means in my book. Be sure to check back in on this channel here for our Black Friday live stream. We're gonna have a ton of giveaways, including batteries and radios and all kinds of other accessories and neat things. And we're gonna have a little gathering of the minds and figure out what kind of deals we can find for each other. In the meantime, there's a video right here I think you'll enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.